is tips for visibility of the research. So we are going to talk about the visibility, the dissemination of the research, not the making of the research. And I will be focusing on video abstracts, podcasts, and just, what to do with social media once we have a video and a podcast. I'm Dr. Sidury Christiansen. You can call me Sidury. My students call me Dr. C. It doesn't matter. And I'm here in the University of Texas at San Antonio. And the objectives for today, this is what I hope that we can accomplish. I want us to engage in analyzing the effectiveness of videos that already exist. Identify venues to create these videos. Because sometimes, video can be really, done with almost no technology, just a camera, or you can be high tech. And then we can see examples of storyboards, those things that we need to create the video or to plan the video. And then we'll briefly discuss converting videos to podcasts, and then how to interpret analytics of videos to help with the design. So let's start. All about abstracts. What are they? Who requests them? Who accesses them? And why are they popular? So video abstracts, just to say it bluntly, is the video version of an abstract of the paper. Maybe you have not seen them, but it's a 3 to 5 minute video explaining what are the main findings of a research paper. And increasingly, people have been requesting this type of abstract. So I know that many times we are so consumed, right, in just looking at the paper that we don't see all of the other things that are attached to the paper. The majority of people have never seen one of these abstracts. So this might be something that is, new to you. And so with these abstracts, then you're going to say, why do we care about these abstracts? So more and more, people are asking for them. So just so that you know whether this is a new trend, is something new we are being required to do, I want you to know that video abstracts have been popular since 2013 in the sciences. So depending what your discipline is in, you might have seen tons of video abstracts, or you might not have heard of them, like many of you haven't. 5 to 10% of the articles published provide a video abstract. And then of the ones that provide the video abstract, 25% to 30% of the most read articles actually have a video abstract. So you can see that a video abstract is a good way to disseminate information and to retain people and basically convince them to go and read your paper. One citation that I found really interesting was that papers with video abstracts received, there is a mistake. It's not citation abstracts, it's video abstracts. So papers with video abstracts received more citation counts at 1.2% more rate than others. So there are a couple of things here. One, the video, actually, papers with video abstract attract more people to read it, and two, they get cited more. And this is because if the video abstract is done well, that means that people are going to cite your paper from the video abstract and not necessarily from the paper itself. Don't worry, a lot of people cite papers just by reading the abstract, even if it's written. So imagine if you can reach more people through video abstract, then you have, a little bit higher chances that your paper is going to be cited. So who accepts them? You're going to tell me, well, I don't know, maybe this is just weird and it's only in the sciences. Yes, it started with the sciences since 10 years ago. But now more and more, because of technology and the way that we are, with the internet, social media, more publishing houses or editorials are asking for this type of video abstracts. I don't know if you recognize any of these, but Elsevier, Taylor and Francis, Wiley, at least those are my publication houses. And I have been already asked to do probably like 3 video abstracts in the last couple of years. So if you're not in the sciences, this trend is catching on. And now if you are in education, humanities, all of them have this video abstract. So what is a video abstract exactly, and what does it look like? Tell me what makes for a good video in general. Give me one characteristic and write it down. What makes a good video? And of course, keep in mind that these are video abstracts, for a paper. What would make it good? So one of the things that at least a lot of my students, when I do my own papers and I share them in a video, oddly enough, is the soundtrack. It's like the background sound. That is one thing that they look up. I mean, these are almost teenagers, so let's keep the audience in mind. But what makes a video good? So coherent speech has a clear purpose, and we have attention grabber, what is conciseness. That is something that we all look for, that conciseness, emotional, concentrated. And you see that some of these characteristics include interesting visuals. You see that a lot of these characteristics actually have to do with the person and not the technology, right? I mean, you do have technology, you can make things interesting with technology, but technology itself doesn't make for just a good video. It's more about what you put into it. The point here is all the videos, regardless of the length, we're going to talk about length in a minute, but they must have a clear and concise message. So having that clear message, easy to understand, and remember, is the best way to do. So in a video abstract, you're not trying to impress your colleagues. You're trying to get your message across using the terms, the layman terms, like they say, very basic terms, instead of using the big words will be great. If you're going to use the big words, then you need to explain them. The other one is good structure and organization. So after the attention grabber, the content should be logical. You should not necessarily follow the same organization of your paper. You see that in some of the abstracts, it was pretty much, okay, here is introduction, here is a literature review, here is the methodology, here are the findings. But that didn't necessarily make the video abstract better. Instead, it's like, okay, boom, here is a statistic. Here is what the paper is about. And so it comes hand in hand with attention grabbing. How do you hold people's attention? And then how do you keep their attention in your video so that they don't scroll down, right? And finally, effective use of visual and multimedia. We see that even the position of the speaker is important. What is in the background is important. And if you are going to make cartoons, then having the appropriate cartoons at the appropriate time and the speed is very important. So paralinguistic elements actually should go hand in hand with your message, should actually enhance your message and not really blur or make your message invisible, which is what happens sometimes. And so here I want to present to you some video formats. There isn't a consensus of what is an appropriate or inappropriate video formats. I guess right now it's basically about the consumption of this information. It's like a TikTok video, right? Or an Instagram video. You are going to keep the ones that are attractive and relevant to you. You're going to pass the ones that, did not grab your attention. So not all videos are created equal, and not all videos have equal reach and engagement. You can do anything for a video. Nobody's going to say, no, this is not a video abstract. The only problem is nobody's going to watch it. Some people, 33% of you like the person talking. A lot of people like animated visuals and documentary styles or a conversation interview. What is interesting? And one person likes static images. And I think it has to do with what is more important, right, to see. But I like to see that the animated visuals, documentary styles are the style of videos that you prefer to consume. These are also the videos that are a little bit more time consuming to make. They require more preparation and they require more effort. But you see, these are the type of videos that might be the ones that grab the more attention. We're not going to watch all of these videos because like this one is, for example, 6 minutes, 11 seconds. But if you see, the first type of video I put here is a traditional video. This is basically somebody talking at the camera. Don't even have background, don't have visuals, nothing. It's a person just talking. And that is what I call the traditional type of video abstract. There is the PowerPoint video abstract, where you basically prepare a PowerPoint and you just talk over the PowerPoint and that's it. It's just a PowerPoint that is being recorded. And sometimes you can enhance the PowerPoint with visuals, or movements, but you don't necessarily have to have that. Then there is this type of videos that are animated videos. So the whole thing is a cartoon. And don't worry, there are programs that can actually do this for you. You don't have to actually create the cartoons. In this particular case, the PhD comics, they have somebody in staff to do these cartoons, but there are ways for you to make cartoon videos, if you will. And it's not that difficult, but it is time consuming. The next one that I did not show you here is storytelling. This is explaining the paper with a story. Like, this is not just about the video, it's about the making of the paper. So number 4 is kind of like, if you think about it, is the editor's, the director's cut video. Like, you have the movie, and then you have the director explanation of the making of the movie. So that is that type of video abstract that you can do. And then they have podcasts, which is only the audio. And you can do this in 2 ways. You can do it in video, where you actually, one person interviews another about the paper, and you publish that as a video abstract, or you only extract the audio and the conversation between the two is published as a podcast, or you have to edit it, obviously. And then the last one is a personal experience that frames the summary. So in this one is, okay, what does the research mean to you? It's type of a documentary, if you will. And the documentary can be focused on the subject that you are studying in your paper, or in the making of that paper. So it's more about you, and you show yourself. So now we have gone to the second part of this workshop, which is identifying how to make these videos. What are these best apps? Is there one app that I would recommend that is the best, or are there several? So how much do you need to know about computers, or how much do you need to be comfortable with technology to make a video? So I want you to think about it in 3 levels. Your level of technology expertise. So are you a beginner level, an intermediate level, or an advanced level? But more than the levels is the experience you have with technology and the comfort. Because let's say you're not that technologically savvy, but you work with computers all the time. It will take you no time to learn something else to promote and do your video. So technology, yeah, but the experience and also the comfort, or the formality. Does your video abstract need to be super formal, or can it be informal or more laid back? That depends on many things. It depends on who is asking for this video abstract, whether it's a publishing house, along with your paper, or is it just for you to disseminate your research? So you can do both. You can actually create video abstracts for yourself to put on social media as a way to attract people to read your paper, or you can make them as a result of a publisher saying, you know what, we are going to accept your paper, now write a summary and do a video abstract. So you have to think of those 2. What is the best way to start making your video? So do you need to learn animation? Maybe you need to choose a video editor, or you need to start by finding high quality images, or by doing something else, like prepare a script or rehearse, make a storyboard that formulate the message. Excellent. Yeah. What is it that you're going to say, right? Some of the videos don't have that message. Open ChatGPT to make the Yes, script and basic editing are great concern, like choosing the editor, but learning animation and the quality images and where do you find them. So actually prepare a script of 5 people said, rehearse one, and make a storyboard 4. And yes, there are many ways to start. All of you are writing that you have to prepare by either making a script or choosing your technology. If you have never started or done a video abstract, you know how to start. I would start by choosing what is the type of video abstract you want to do. So we already watched the types of video abstracts, and that depends on many things. Like I said, who's asking for this abstract? What is your level of comfort with technology? What are the tools that you have and the time, right? Because maybe you don't have a lot of time, but what are the advantages of a traditional video abstract? And what are the possible shortcomings? What would you, do or not do with this video abstract? And the traditional is where you only talk to the camera and that's it. So what is one possible advantage of that? Easier and not time consuming at all, right? It's really quickly. It looks professional, depending how you dress, right? What you put on the background. Yeah, absolutely. What will be the shortcomings for this type of video abstract? And you get to see the author. That's definitely a plus. And what about the shortcomings? It can get really boring, especially if it's long or it's not prepared. So it's like if it's too long, right? Sometimes, I don't know if you have seen videos of just people talking. It depends if they're entertaining and they make jokes, you can get away. But yeah, it doesn't allow to, for different ways to share information. So complicated ideas might be difficult to follow. Excellent. Let's go with the second one. What about a presentation? Showing your PPT X, your PowerPoint or your slides, either with you showing, yourself in there or not. What will be the advantages and disadvantages or shortcomings of showing that presentation? It can be eye-catching and easy, especially if you already presented, right? You already have your slides. And yeah, you could have a little bit of attention. And it can be simple, and simplicity many times sells, right? We try to make this huge production, and what takes the attention is the sounds or the images, but not the message. And what could be a shortcoming of presentations as well? We have to think about the bad design. Like if it's a poorly designed, it's not going to be maybe too crowded, right? We have all seen presentations that are just, I don't know, populated with so many words, and we cannot even pay attention to the person talking or read, right? And it has certain limitations. And if you can elaborate on the limitations, that would be great. How about animated videos? So a lot of you have said that these are the type of videos that you would like to watch the most or consume. And what are the advantages and disadvantages actually? So you already talked about the advantages of animated video. What are the shortcomings of these animated videos? Yes, they can be entertainment and memorable. And those are the ones that you're most likely to share, right? Like, oh man, look at this cool video, especially if they have the graphics that move or their interaction, they have some interaction. But there are also disadvantages. And for the person, right, it takes a lot of time to make, especially if you're not, skilled and experienced with animation. And then finally, we have the storytelling. It can get too long, right? And it is hard to prepare. Both animated and storytelling require tons of time because they require tons of preparation. You cannot simply sit down like the traditional or the PowerPoint presentation and talk. You actually have to create, a way to start. And I don't want you to get the idea that traditional and presentation slides videos can be done in the fly. A lot of people do, and they like to just talk. They need to be prepared. You need to actually plan what you're going to say, and those are the best videos, the ones that you plan in advance and plan the script. So a lot of you that said we need to get a script going, you're spot on. You really need to plan And yes, animated storytelling can be really creative and share interesting facts and stories, especially the storytelling, but it all goes into the planning stages. So we're going to talk a little bit more about these planning stages. And I put here, when is it okay to do some of these videos? Like, for example, if you don't have a lot of technical skills, a good traditional video can really sell way more than a poorly designed animated video. So I don't want you to get the idea that they're necessarily or inherently good or bad. It depends on us and how much we do, okay? And so what is a common versus what is the most effective? So now research shows the most common are the traditional and the presentation, but those are the ones that do not get the most views. It is the animated and storytelling that get the most views. But again, it all depends. There are some traditional, some presentation ones that can get a lot of views and a lot of storytelling ones that, for example, if not done well, they're just boring. People don't even look at them. So, okay, so the first, like how to start making a video, number one, choose the type of video abstract. Maybe you don't have time. Okay, I'm just gonna do a traditional one. Okay, I have time and I want to learn how to make animated videos. I'm gonna go and do an animated video. So the second thing you have to do is pick the technology. So what is the technology that you have to do and what is the technology that you have available? A lot of times, and you can write in the chat, what are the technologies that you use to record and or edit videos? Many times we think that to record videos, we have to have an expensive camera or expensive equipment. And that is not necessarily true, right? In our phones, we all have a way to use our cell phones to make a recording. Some of you, like I said, Zoom is another one. In Zoom, you can actually record your presentation with the slide, without the slide. Oh, Movely is a great video maker that will help you actually animate a lot of your videos. And it doesn't take that long to learn. So I see that some of you are familiar with these ones, and I'm going to share some. I want you to think, if you have basic technology skills, then choose the left-hand side of the screen. If you have experience, we're basically going to do the same, and we're going to do it all together. So I'm going to go to a decision tree that I have made for you, and you're going to choose the type of video abstract. And then you're going to go to the second part where I give you a lot of the technologies for that type of abstract that I'm recommending here. So what I want you to do right now as I'm talking, one, choose the type of video abstract using the decision tree. Two, choose a technology that you have. If you have basic technological skills, use a technology that is known to you. If you have experience, explore one that is new to you, and write the pros and cons of using that technology. What could be the pro? What could be the con? Just one. To me, every time I am asked to write a video abstract or to make a video abstract, the first thing that I ask is, well, first, I mean, do I know how, do I have the technical skills? Well, maybe I don't, but am I willing to learn the minimum? If yes, well, do I have time to do it? If I don't have time, then I go back. Okay, do I care about audience and visibility? Not really. I'm just doing it because they're telling me to. Then I go the traditional route. Nobody's going to watch it. I assume nobody's going to share it, etc. But maybe you know the basics and you do care about the visibility. Maybe you do a little bit more than just a traditional. You can do a presentation style. If you have a little bit time to learn, well, is your audience exclusively other academics in your area? Then you can go and enhance presentation style, meaning it's not just a PowerPoint. You can actually animate it, bringing things with time with your speech. and make it a little bit more interactive by adding a question or having activities that you can embed in your video with play pause it, for example. But if not, then if you're doing more than academics, if it's for the public in general, do you have time to create something like an engaging story? If not, then you stick back to the presentation. If you do, then would you like a serious tone for your presentation? If you don't, then you do the animated and digital storytelling. But if you do want a serious presentation and you do have the time and your audience is more than academics, then go the storytelling or documentary style. Okay, so by now you kind of know which presentation style you would choose. And we're going to go, if you're in the traditional, explore either, well, Zoom, you know how to do, the messaging app tool. If you're going to send a message, sometimes you can record the messages. If you want something enhanced, if you don't have Zoom for some reason, there is a website called ScreenPal that can do very similar to Zoom. It can actually record your presentation on your screen and record you and your voice. And to make a presentation, you can always do PowerPoint, Google Slides, or Keynote. But if you want to make a more attractive presentation, you can use Prezi or Visme, PictoChart, Venngage, or SlideBean. SlideBean and Haiku Deck, I really like those to help me kind of like be on point. Haiku Deck is like that Japanese haikus that are only 20 slides and no more. It really keeps your time and it keeps you thinking, I need to get this done in such a short period of time, being concise. If you want to do animated videos, Powtoon, Biteable, and Animaker have all free versions that you can. I would start with templates. They already have templates and they're all, 100% animated. You don't have to create them. You just need to tell, I want this person talking, or I want this person walking, etc. So please click on that. Like I said, this time is for you. I'm just trying to explain here, but one that attracts you, that you have either used or not used, check it out. There is Movely and Video. Somebody in the chat already put that they use Movely. Movely is my to-go for animation, either Powtoon and Movely. And if you want the storytelling videos, Storybird, VoiceThread, Toontastic, if you want to make cartoons, and StoryJumper are great ways to make short videos that are kind of animated, like cartoonish type of thing. And Storybird can be really serious, but it's animated in the sense that flowers will come and, trees and birds will fly. And then the documentary style is like making a movie. So for that, you do need like a little bit of a production. You need to prepare what is going to be your B-roll, and then you're going to bring it to the movie editor. And in the movie editor, you are going to kind of think, what is it that you're going to show? I'm going to give you 5 more minutes to just dive into one of these that you have never heard of. If you're not afraid of technology or you have experience with technology, go to one that you have never heard of or seen or used before. Explore it really quickly and tell me, what is attractive about it? What do you think can be the potential positives and the shortcomings or challenges? If you are not that skilled with technology, or you are like, what, I just don't want to do that or learn more, or don't have time, go to the traditional and the enhanced one and explore ScreenPal or Visme or PictoChart. You can move yourself, make yourself little, go right here, move it to your side. So I'll show you in a minute. When you use your cameras, I do recommend investing on good lighting. You need good light to be able to, so that everybody can see you. A lot of times we choose near the window and only one side of us is visible, but not the other side. So what I just did right now, I did a Zoom advanced feature. So for all of you, if you were to share your screen, if you go down to share your screen in Zoom, and you click on share, window shows up and tells you, do you want to share screen 1, screen 2? Do you see that? On the top, there is a bar that says basic, advanced, files, and apps. Do you see that? If you go to advanced, you click advanced, the first choice is slides as virtual background. So what Zoom does for you is that you can put your PowerPoint presentation on the back, and you obviously use a share, and then you end up like this, and you can move yourself around, wherever you need to do, and do the class. I use this when I teach, because I go like, oh, you see this one? Click right here. And so it can be funny, it can be distracting. Sometimes, if you want to make yourself big, or you want to make yourself small and bring yourself to the corner, it's kind of annoying if you move it around all the time, but it's really good in, when you want to, like this is to, yeah. So see, it's like okay, so here I'm sharing the whole screen, and you can manipulate it depending on what you want. If you want to not be in front of the text, you can do this, kind of like the weather person. That's what weather people do. They have your green screen. I have a green screen, by the way. So this is something like I always tell people, if you're going to make a traditional video, at least do this. You're going to get people's attention. So let's move on. So what's next? Okay, so see, now you have to get used to like saying that. Let me stop it for a minute. Otherwise, I'm going to be distracted myself doing this. But you get the point, and you can try this. My recommendation is that you try it on your own before you try to either teach a class with it, or that you record your video for the video abstract. So, okay, once you have chosen what is the type of abstract you want to do, you want to prepare your script. You want to do a storyboard. And what is a storyboard? So storyboards, basically, they do it in films, and in cartoons and movies, where people say, well, this is how I want my story to look like. This is what I want the entrance of this character or the music. You need to prepare everything so that you see how everything comes together. A lot of people, like I said, they don't plan their videos. And that's why videos, tend not to be desirable. And if we were in TikTok, we would just be flipping them all the time. You have to prepare the video, so you have to be really skilled at what you do. And in the presentation, I have examples and explanations if you want to go there to this video. But for the purposes of this presentation, I just need you to get an idea what a storyboard looks like. And it looks like this. Of course, you don't need to do this by hand. You can just do this by writing. So I'll give you an example of the storyboards that I have made for videos that I have produced. So there are types of storyboards. So here is a traditional storyboard. The example is this. If you notice, this is a storyboard for a presentation, actually the video abstract for a presentation that I did. I have the links to the slides, and this is exactly what I'm going to say in each slide. And this is what I'm going to write. So you'll see that there is, the text. I highlighted the parts where my voice is going to change and where I'm going to include certain elements in my presentation. This is the video that, I did with this. It's really simple. And of course, what I did, I
Our
shortened it
presentation is titled
to make the
Transnational
abstract. You don't need to hear it, but you just need to see the elements. You have the elements, you have the two speakers here. And then we basically talked from the script. We didn't look at the camera. And I must say, both of us were really busy and we're like, let's just do this traditional thing. We recorded this presentation for this conference. And then I went ahead. I mean, this is the 12 minutes, so you have, so, but I went ahead and I did a lot of editing and chopping. I don't recommend that because it takes too long and it's not something that we got a lot of views. This video has like 50 views or less. Okay, so the presentation one, I have the example here. All right, so for this one was for my article published this year in January in TESOL Quarterly. So it's in my field, I'm from field of applied linguistics and TESOL. And for that, we published this paper with my coworker, but I was given the option to do a video abstract. And I actually wanted to do this video abstract in Spanish because I wanted to increase the reach of our dissemination of research. So everything was already in English. And I thought, you know what? I am going to make this video in Spanish and publish it in YouTube so that my Spanish speaking audiences got to see that. So what I want you to look at is in this abstract, and let me know if this is visible. I have the time here. So from 1 to 3 seconds, this is what I'm going to say. Hola, ¿qué tal? You know, hi, how are you? And I am going to put myself in the entire frame. I'm going to wave my hand and I'm going to have no background. And then after 3 seconds, I am going to ask a question. So this question that I'm asking is my attention getter. Like, have you ever been in a situation in which you are looking, you know, at a certain place and you look at something that reminds you of you being, sorry, it's a bad translation, but like reminds you of being yourself, like a deja vu. And so here I put a blue overlay that I'm going to get from Adobe Stock, and I am going to put a text introducing who I am. Then I give the first example, like here I'm in New Zealand and I'm remembering my place of birth in Veracruz. And then I have images of New Zealand that are similar to Veracruz. And here I put a picture of Veracruz. I want you to see this because this is what the video looks like after that planning. And so here it is. So remember the first 3 parts of that storyboard, where I'm going to be, what I'm going to say, and we're just going to look at that.
Hola, ¿qué tal? ¿Se han encontrado en una situación en la que van caminando por allí y ven alguna escena que les recuerda a otro lugar en otro tiempo? Como aquí yo en Nueva Zelanda, acordándome de mi tierra natal en Veracruz. Bueno.
So we're going to stop there. And you see that everything that I planned, I actually made it in the video. I'm not going to say that this is the best video, but at least it has a plan. And I planned my script, and I planned what I'm going to be looking at, and I planned how I wanted my video to look. Now, this video is about chronotopes and the use of social media to keep in touch with your homeland. So I thought it was, you know, a cool thing that I am speaking in a phone, because that's exactly what, you know, my research is about. Like if you read my research, you will understand why I chose this overlay and how I'm choosing to give these chronotopic experiences that I'm talking about. And I am using the word chronotopes, but I do explain it at some point. So here I'm giving the explanation for chronotopes, etc. So that's another way to do it. And the final way of here is the animated documentary. So I have an example of the video abstract, and this is a documentary that this is a little bit more elaborated than the previous one because I had actually people and B-roll. So here I have the soundtrack, I have the speech, this is what they're gonna say, and then the reference to the B-roll that we took with the video production team. Oh, sorry. And I put the video is right here. So I just want you to look at the, very first 2 seconds, 3 seconds of that, few seconds, sorry. And here is the end of that, like the end result.
I am the director of the IES UTSA P20 Pathways to Education Research Training Program, which started in 2016. Something that I really love about this program is that for the past 5 years, we have the privilege of working for 1 full year with talented interdisciplinary undergraduate researchers who introduce.
So if we see what I said here, being interviewed at an angle with a caption of her name, not showing the interviewer, background very light, close to a window in an office, and a hope piece and something good. So it is the idea. And with these examples, I wanted to show that if you plan the video, of course, it will take you a little bit to get all the elements. But the most important thing is to know what is the type of video, how you're going to present yourself in the message. So that script, you need to work on that script, and then how to enhance that script to give the information. Okay, so now you see the types of storyboards. And what I have done for you, I have shared, 2 types of storyboards. This is template number 1. This is where you can actually put your pictures, and what goes on slide 1, slide 2. And then there is a template for you. We're not going to fill it out, but that's just for you to have. And the second one is like the ones that I use. It's basically a simple Google Doc that I use to make that speech and to do the whiteboard for this one, the storyboard, because I think the more personalized that you do it will be the best, because it will serve your purposes. And by the way, what I use, you see in my videos, I don't look like I'm looking at the camera, I'm looking at a text. What I do is a teleprompter. So there are teleprompter apps that I do not buy and I do not use. What I use, if you have hold of Apple products in a tablet, I use just the word processing. It's called Pages. And Pages, and even in Word, they have a view that is called speaker view in Pages. And actually you can just tap and it moves like a teleprompter. So if you or a friend has an iPhone or an iPad, you can always use that as a teleprompter. And what I do, I put my camera and I put the tablet right here. And it always looks like I'm looking at the camera. It doesn't look like my eyes are actually reading. And that is because I also go 5 feet away from the camera to be able to speak at the camera directly. So the other thing that you can do, you can just do slides. So you do your slide, and in the notes section below, you can put your notes, and you can actually put the speech that you are going to be saying when you present the slides. There are some free resources that you're going to be getting with the access to the presentation. Free images, because you cannot just download from images. I mean, you have to respect copyright and people's created intellectual property. But there are sites where you can get audio and images for free. And so I have put them in here for you. And YouTube has a huge audio library that you can do. And also YouTube, if you have your own channel, it has a video editor. So you don't have to use the video editing tools for the presentation. And then finally, podcasting. We're not going to spend, again, a lot of time on this one. I just want to tell you that anything that you on video, you can always record it as a podcast so that people can just listen to it whenever they want to, and they don't have to necessarily rely heavily on the images or the cartoon. I recommend podcasting rather than just showing your face, because as you say, it's always very boring when all you have to do is like looking at somebody talking, especially if that person is not an entertainer. They don't have that much personality. So it's not a good idea to just show yourself. So I recommend podcasting. And so I have recording tips and production tips. And I put 2 apps in there. If you record with Zoom, Zoom automatically detaches the audio for you. You already have the audio. But if you have a video, if you record it with your phone, I have 2 apps, Audio Extractor and Movie. Some of you, I think you already explored Movie. It can detach the audio from the video, and then you can build a podcast. And the one thing I wanted to say about analytics is that attention spans are very short, not because we are not capable of, it's just because when we consume information, we are not going to be, paying attention. So from marketing, 95% of ads are skipped after 5 seconds. So imagine, when we see a YouTube video and oh my gosh, we already skip. So the average attention span for commercial videos is 8.25 seconds. And it decreased, from 12 seconds from 2000, meaning we are picky consumers. I mean, this is commercial videos. But even when we talk about academics, yeah, we're going to be keeping in mind that it's going to be a longer video. It's not a commercial. It's maybe not going to be as entertaining, but we have to make it attractive for the videos, for the viewers to stay with the video. Why? Because after a good hook, if you grab, attention, it will increase by 70%. But if you do not captivate your audiences past the 30-second mark, you will lose a lot of people. So most videos that are not commercial, that are consumed, are between 2 and 10 minutes. So your engagement is steady up to 2 minutes, and then it decreases by 1 minute after. So how do you see that? All right, so here is that abstract that I was showing you, and look at that. My abstract was a little bit long because, in Spanish, we tend to digress a little bit, and it's part of the conventions of the language. It's 3 minutes, 24 seconds. At the 2 minute 38 mark, my rate went down to 40%. And you can always see like, okay, I lost most people right here, about like 40, 50 seconds. So something happened here. And I know that this is the part where I started talking about the research, like explaining the chronotype, and I stopped putting videos. So I actually use these to teach me, okay, I need to keep the increasing, I need to add either more versatility or more images or something in the videos. And when you study these analytics, it will actually give you an idea. Here, the average view duration for the video is 1 minute, 35 seconds. So after you do the video, what do you do with it? Well, you have to blog about it, upload the video, and share it in your social media. Do not let just the people in the publishing people to do it for you, because my video did not get most views from them. It got actually most views from Facebook. I see a question in the chat. Do you know agencies that make video abstracts well for researchers? Yes, actually a lot of the publication houses offer their own services, but they're super expensive. And guess what? You end up having to do the storyboard for them. They won't do it for you from scratch. They won't. I mean, they can give you ideas, but they will still tell you, so what do you want to say? What do you want to do? What kind of pictures? You end up kind of like doing it with them. So my recommendation is try to increase from like the traditional. The next time, try to do an enhanced one. The next time, try to do an animated PowerPoint. The next time, try to do Movie or Powtoons, and then do a podcast, and then do a documentary. And then if you think, you know what, I already have the handle of it, I know what I want and I can articulate it, then contract one of these services, because they're going to really charge you an arm and a leg for these, but you already have the working things of what you want to do, because you already know about video production, that it can actually, if not decrease a little bit the cost, it will be less painful for you. What I do to disseminate the research, I can just share it very briefly. I make a blog. So I have a blog. I can share very quickly what I do. So I have a blog that, so here is my blog. And I put it again in my language and then in English, because again, it's about disseminating research. So it's not just technical to academic environments. In the news, this is what I talk about, how I do something. So how I got the idea for my research, challenges that I faced in my research. In this case, it was, I'm talking about my transsemiotic collaboration. That's a word that I made up at the moment, because I was celebrating the first journal publication with my son. And then I have the videos, here. And then, so I have the landing page here. I put the link to the paper. I put the abstract, whatever I have, and then I hit all the social media sites. I do put I host my videos in YouTube and Vimeo. So this is YouTube. So if you see, it's my channel. I only have 47 views because I disseminated. I mean, this is in Spanish. People who don't care about Spanish are not going to be and looking at it. So I put this, and it is the share button. So again, I go to Twitter. So most academics or people that care about academics, are in Twitter. At least in the US, I have KakaoTalk because I have it. Anyway, WhatsApp. So I go ahead and disseminate it, but I don't disseminate the video itself. I always send to my blog, because in the blog, I have like a following of people that it will be better than just doing it in isolation. It also gets hits to the paper. And now this paper that was published in January already has 4 citations. I don't know if it's because of this, but I mean, for applied linguistics and somebody that is not as famous as other people, I mean, 4 citations already in less than 3 months. I don't know, but I credit to my video abstract plus my blog plus other things that people know more about your research, so they engage more. So social media, I would say, have a landing place, do a blog. If you don't want to do a blog, then a Twitter, something that lands people that they know, okay, this is where I'm going to find your work. And then, share the links. Video preparation takes a lot of time. Yes, it does. Are there any tips on how to do it faster? You're not going to like my answer, but just like everything, just like writing, if you want it faster, you have to do it more often. Because the more you do it, you are going to find your own shortcuts. And you're going to know, okay, I can wing it on this way. I cannot wing it on this way. So what I do, and for this, I use AI to help me with a lot of the things. And I'm not talking about ChatGPT. I mean, there are other tools, even Word. If you use Word, you can ask Word to summarize something for you. If you write well, and I shouldn't say well, if you write in a certain way, Word can summarize the paper for you or give like the 5 more striking points or something. So I actually use these tools before ChatGPT. I use these tools. I say, okay, I can do this, and I can work on my script. I used to like a guy called Vsauce. I know you're going to know too much about me, but the Vsauce, I love that guy and the way he explains everything. So I try to emulate him in my videos. I don't have his personality and I don't have his face. I think that's part of his thing, but I need to find my thing. And to be able to find it, I need to make it more, to try new things. So that's why I said, I don't think you're going to like the answer, but it's do more, engage in more, do more videos, and do not be afraid to fail. If people don't like your video, the most they're going to say is like, nah, and they're going to pass it and they're going to forget about it. Unless you do something like terribly, funny, and then people will remember you for that. All right. Could you please suggest programs for Windows where we can edit a video for free? If you have problems like with Windows, Windows has its own video editing. It's called Video Maker. But you can always use Screencast or ScreenPal, or you can just go to YouTube and YouTube will let you edit videos. So you just have to get into like your YouTube account, and then through there do edit videos. A video editor that I have used that is free, I think. Well, there is a free version of WeVideo and WeVideo, but I don't know if you have access to that. What I like about this way of disseminating the content is that it is still academic, but academic content should not just stay within academia. You need to translate it for everybody. And so by sharing videos and really engaging in another way of video making that goes beyond the presentation style or the traditional style, will really get others talking about your own research. My tip is just start slowly but steadily, and don't get discouraged. It will take time, but you're going to have a lot of fun. Right now, my products to go are Adobe, because my school it became an Adobe campus. So Adobe Rush, those of you who have used iMovie, I was an avid user of iMovie. I fell in love with Adobe Rush, and it just, my latest video I did with Adobe Rush. So thank you